having fun. And we have a guest this week.
That guy.
So it's been a while since we had a guest.
Yeah, people don't really like us that much.
Sometimes. I don't know. We like to have guests, but sometimes schedules don't sync up always. But I have David here from Squrl Jerky Pictures.
Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Squrl Jerky?
Squrl Jerky.
Squrl Jerky.
All right.
You make it in
You're
your backyard?
gonna have to explain Squrl Jerky Pictures.
All right.
Why? What's up with the name?
Well, it originated is that I was on an island and I ran out of food. No, I'm just kidding. No, so what happened is that about 2.5 years ago, I was at the country band and we were looking for a name. I said, oh, why not try Squrl Jerky? That would be hilarious. Like, people would want to watch a band named Squrl Jerky. And it was just knocking off, having a good time and stuff like that. And so from there, things didn't work out with that band. And I hang out with my buddy Joseph. Well, y'all can't see him, but he's here with me.
And we have an audience here, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I built my team, and I wanted to find something that was brandable, so I picked the Squrl. So most people know Buc-ee's because they have T-shirts, bumper stickers, huge, enormous ones. And so that's why I just wanted something brandable, so I went with Squrl. And since, like, I want to say 80-90% of people don't know how to spell Squrl, I just used the URL, like a play of words off a URL, so SQURL.
And then when I saw that, it just like, that clicks. And I was like, that's really cool.
I thought it was like a Texas Homer Simpson kind of thing. Like, maybe you were SMRT and you couldn't spell, and maybe you were so country you had to make your own food. So I didn't know. So thanks for sharing, because now I know. And knowing is half the battle.
And I only notice him with his hat on.
Yeah.
When he has his hat off, I was like, who's that?
Really? You don't know who he is?
I met Vince like probably 2 or 3 times, and the first time I had my hat, and then he came up to me, hi, my name's Vince. How's it going? I go, Vince, I've met you before already.
Like, I know you, dude. He's like, no.
Because he wasn't wearing his hat. But you just look completely different without the hat.
Yeah, because I'm bald. I don't have hair. I'm just kidding. I do.
I was like, that would have been the best reveal ever, right? No, now there's hair. I'm disappointed. I don't even want to see the hair now. Now I'm going to have to go watch bald people videos after this just to get satisfaction. So terrible.
That should be a thing.
Why don't you take your hat off, honey?
I'm not bald yet.
Really? Lean down. Just
Balding.
lean down a little bit.
I'm balding. I'm not completely bald yet. I'm old. I'm 43.
Hashtag old people problems.
Yes, definitely. So we met. We're both YouTubers. You have a YouTube channel called Squrl Jerky Pictures, and you do a lot of, right now, what I've been seeing and what I've been watching are reaction videos. Mm-hmm. And what are some of the things you've been reacting to lately?
Music videos.
Saw that.
Pop culture stuff. Like, we did a video in honor of the lead singer of the Cranberries. We did the whole Logan Paul thing that blew up. What else did we do? We did Bruno Mars video. We've done quite a bit recently, and that's just the next shift on YouTube that's going out. You see it all over your timeline, over everything is reaction videos. So.
But how did you feel about the whole reaction thing when that one YouTube channel was trying to basically coin it and say that they were the only ones allowed to do reaction videos because they made it up?
To me, I think any niche, anybody can do it, because no matter what, like, as big of a platform as YouTube is, there's nobody that's gonna be able to claim it and say it's mine. I own the rights to it, because it's not something that you can really put a patent on or a copyright on, because it's something that anybody can do. Anybody can do, like, I know this is like a horrible reference, but like anybody that said they came up with the Tide Pod challenge, like, you can't coin that. That's not something that you can own. It's anybody can jump on and do it. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that at all.
Not a good
There's
thing.
like poison control warnings on the box. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's not good.
But, like, and it's like if someone said, oh, I'm the first person that did covers on YouTube, nobody else can do covers of videos. And you see lots of people doing them as well.
They didn't end up getting a cease and desist or anything for people who coined their videos like actual reaction. I thought that they had gotten
They tried
something,
to do it,
but they couldn't.
They couldn't enforce
Oh,
it.
okay. Because I thought maybe y'all had to call it something else. I didn't know if you could actually still call it a
No.
reaction
Black and
video.
Silver Diamond says, "You mean Fine Bros?" Yes, Fine Bros is the one that
Yeah.
did the
trending,
reaction videos, and then a whole big backlash of YouTubers came out after them for that.
So did y'all just particularly like those kind of videos, or what kind of made you decide to do that genre of?
I'll be completely honest. Like, I study YouTube constantly and what the trends are and what's gonna be up and running. And so from what I've seen is every year you have a different trend of videos that YouTube pushes to the audiences. It's the stuff that comes up to the trending pages most. It's the stuff that comes up on almost your news feed. And that's not only YouTube in general, but that's Facebook, Instagram, everything. And so far from what I've seen is that the next trend, it hasn't been that big yet, but it's starting, is the next trend is going to be your podcast and your reaction videos are for the year of 2018. So for instance, like in 2017, it was all about your vloggers. They just controlled YouTube, was vlogging. That's all you saw on the trending page. That's all you saw. But now if you look at the trending page, YouTube's the one that controls that. They have control over what's going to be there, who's going to be on it. As much as they say it's an algorithm, from my own personal experience of watching and observing the trends, I don't agree. I don't believe that at all. I don't think that I think they control. You're going to be on the trending page. You're going to be on the trending page.
I would totally and completely agree with you on that.
Well, it just depends on the algorithm at the time, because they're always changing it. Like, I know for a time they were pushing just videos that were 4K. Because that was the new technology. They were trying to push that. Oh, let's push that out for 4K.
Well, because
and now they're not doing that anymore.
Well, they probably had some sponsor or somebody who was giving them money who wanted that to be pushed so that they could be selling some kind of products, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really the end result of YouTube, is so that they can make money, and they can only make money if you're selling these ads and doing all this other stuff. So, I mean, you have to know what
I want a part of that money. And then, so what are your thoughts on this change of YouTube from going from 10,000 subscribers, which a lot of are 10,000 views, to which a lot of us, I'm part of that group. I'm like at 20-something thousand.
You look at me, I don't know.
Yeah.
And now that's all for nothing.
Mm-hmm. The same thing happened with us. Actually 4 days before they changed their policies, we hit that mark plus some. Or we had a video that went up to 100. I think it was 108,000. It's roughly at around there right now. Is at 108,000. We applied, and luckily enough, like, since they are giving the people that made the partner program that were a part of it, they're giving them that 30-day period to the 20th to hit that mark. But in reality, like, to me, I personally think it's a good thing. Like, that's just my own personal opinion, because it's gonna flood out a lot of the channels that you have. A lot of channels that have been on YouTube for a long period of time, and they hit that 10,000 mark, but they're in a let's say the span of a month, they're only making about 2 or 3 pennies, because they're only getting about, like, let's say they post 4 videos a month at 20 views.
But we're still not getting that money anyway,
Yeah.
because
So
we
it
haven't
doesn't
even made
matter.
that point.
Because they still have the $100 threshold that you have to hit no matter what,
Right.
in one single month.
Mm-hmm.
Which roughly $100 is probably, I want to say, the last time that I did the math, it was probably close to about 100,000 views, roughly, like, more or less, just depending on the AdSense that you're getting paid, because the AdSense runs from about 2 cents for the ads versus, like, you have the $1, $2 clicks for the bigger YouTubers that get that.
Do you think they're ever gonna make people stop posting if they're not monetizing? If they're just posting?
I think that the thing is, like, I think y'all brought it up on y'all's show last week, is that it's gonna get out of the mindset that a lot of people have, is that they start it and then, like, 2 months in, they're like, oh, this isn't what they made it. They, like, everyone makes it out to be, that I'm gonna make all this money and everything. And I think it's gonna flush out all those people, and it's gonna bring in the diehards, the ones that want to turn this into like a business and a career and everything like that, so on and so forth. And I like my personal opinion. Like I said, my personal opinion is it's a good thing for YouTube because then you have instead of the ads, like even though one channel's making like, let's say they max out at like 5 cents a month, if you multiply that by, let's say, 3,000, 4,000 channels, that money's being spread apart, that could go to somebody that has an active fan base, people that are watching their videos all the time. If I'm a company that's paying YouTube money to play my ads, I want to be in front of a lot of people. I don't want to just be in front of a little bit of people. And so, like, to me, I think it's a great thing. I think that the standards are, like, where they have it at it's perfect. Like, it's set at a good point. Like, I think it's very doable. It's just about how bad, as a creator, you want it.
You need to get to that point. But once you get to that point, you should be able to keep it there. Even though it's like you have to do 4,000 minutes a month.
No, it's 4,000 hours for the year, and it's a moving calendar. So it's from whatever today is, 365 days back. So like y'all, I think y'all are partner verified already, right?
No, we are.
Yes.
Y'all are. Yeah. So it you have until the 20th to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark.
Well, we had it because we've had over 20,000 for a very long time.
Oh.
Yeah, and so like if you hit the, I don't know where y'all are in the hours watch, if y'all hit that, I know y'all are like halfway to I think you're like around 500, right? Yeah, so like if y'all can hit that 1,000 mark and pick up on the hours as well and hit both of them, it won't get stripped away.
Yeah.
There was a lot of channels that got stripped. Like I know there was one of the guys that used to come to the YouTube meetup, Video Game Guy 99. He got his stripped from him, and his is on the same thing of what I was saying, is that you have someone that's been on YouTube for so long that they hit that 10,000 mark, but they don't get the consistent views and view time to keep it up.
Well, that's what I worry about for our show, because we don't get consistent views. We don't have like a really big viewership every week. I don't know if it's just because our show is long and the YouTube audience tends to be very short attention span. I don't know, we're older, so
yeah, that's one of the things. But one of the things is are you doing it because you love it, or are you doing it because
You want to make money.
you want to
yeah,
make money?
like, so that's the only thing I worry about. Like, can we is YouTube gonna still let people continue to put things out there even if you're not monetizing, if you just want to do it just for the fun of doing it? Or are they gonna eventually say, hey, y'all are taking up like our resources and stuff, and you're not really helping us monetize? Or are we gonna start getting rid of you?
Because when you're even, well, we'll stop monetizing eventually. Once we get to February, whatever, if we don't hit that threshold,
something like that. Yeah.
And once we get there, then we'll stop monetizing. But we're not making anything off of the monetizing now, so it doesn't really matter at that point. So they can keep, I mean, people have been doing it for years, and they're not, I don't think they're ever going to take that away.
You don't think they're gonna just stop people and be like, look, y'all are not...
No.
Because you're still drawing, you may come to YouTube to watch, like, let's say someone comes to watch Geek Out SA. They also recommend videos over here that may not be a Geek Out SA, and it may be somebody that's already getting money. So just because they're coming, they may come for Geek Out SA, they'll also come across anybody else that's in the suggested box, and it just will make them money. Like, they make money no matter what, whether a channel's making money or not, because it's getting traffic to their website, so they're gonna make money off of it no matter what.
Do you think that they're gonna change the rules? Because I know y'all were saying the Logan Paul, and that's the one you have 108,000 views on, is y'all reacting to Logan Paul. Do you think that they're going to change some of the rules about what's acceptable, or start maybe looking at a rating system like we have on television?
Well, they do, like, and see, that's the thing, is that it's just YouTube. Like, for one, YouTube has horrible communication with its creators. Like, you'll look at people like Philip DeFranco, Casey Neistat, that they'll point out how even with them as big as channels as they are, they have really bad communication with YouTube. And so like they'll like I can't think of the way that I'm trying to word it, but like I can't even think of the way I want to word it. Like it's really hard to think about the way.
Well,
I
what do
wanna
you
word it.
think? What do you think is going to happen? I just worry as an educator. I worry because I see my students on all the time, right? And a lot of them idolized Logan Paul before, and they watched his stupid music videos and all that stuff, and they just thought he was great, you know. And then they watch all these guys that play video games and act like idiots, and then they watch the stupid Tide Pod challenge stuff of people doing that. And then some of them, when I worked at a low-income school, they were looking up fights on YouTube, and so they were seeing people like really get beat horribly, like to where you can hear these people suffering to breathe. Like there's some really horrible stuff out there, and I know that it should be the parents' responsibility to police it.
But those things get eventually reported and they get taken down.
Yeah. See, like for instance, like our Logan Paul video got age restricted to where you have to be 18 or older, like on not necessarily a channel, but logged in as a channel that's 18
But
or
you
older
can just
in
make
order
a
to
fake
watch it.
profile
Yeah.
and pretend your age is that nobody's verifying how old you are.
I just think that
so-
YouTube's algorithm, as far as the content that they're posting, is not. You can't. There's so much content going on that they can't keep up with it. Like you can't have that many people just sitting there all day watching what's getting uploaded. They have their algorithm that runs through it. It runs the audio. It tries to run video. And with like for instance, like I commend like the Logan Paul and his brother on the business aspect of what they're doing, because they're taking advantage of those kids that are there. You like they make like, let's say, like I think Logan Paul just off of YouTube last year alone made $14 million. That's just off of YouTube alone. Off of, let's say, off of his t-shirts and everything, the majority of YouTube's fan base, like I think like even on like, I know for instance for like our channel, it's 14 to about like, let's say 21, 22. I don't know, like it's probably like, well, y'all are video game, comic book base. Y'all may have like kind of like the same fan base. Like I'm not really sure, like I don't know y'all's numbers, but a lot of channels, that's what their main base is, because you have kids that are watching it in school. You have them that are just sitting there at home just watching YouTube. Like no one watches TV anymore.
Nope.
Like
No, that's
Nope.
true.
It's
They don't
streaming
watch TV.
services. It's Netflix, YouTube.
My kids won't
Hulu,
even watch a movie
Amazon.
anymore. Like my junior high kids, they're like, "Who goes to movies? That's too long. That's too boring. I don't want to see a movie."
Our
And
actual kids don't even see movies.
I've seen that trend of like, because we do like to go to the movies because again, old, and there's like all these actors now at the beginning of the movie thanking people for coming to the theater because they're seeing such a decline, because everything's going to this instant gratification, this let's get it, make it short and sweet, let's hurry up and get a soundbite, let's get some idiot doing something stupid, let me see it really quick so I can laugh, ha ha ha, let me go try something stupid, okay, I hurt myself. You know, it's like that just constant instantaneous kind of thing now. So I guess for me it's just kind of concerning sometimes about just what everybody has access to.
See, what I would say is to blame for that in general is the app Vine when it was up, because these guys, like these Viners like Logan Paul, King Batch, Jake Paul, they figured out how to get what most of these guys, let's say like from my personal, what I've been read into and what I noticed is in around like 2013 when Vine was like already on its peak, 2013, 2014, is the guys that were right before that were doing these 5-minute skits on YouTube trying to get their point across, as far as, but these guys were doing it in 6 seconds or less. It's just punchline. So if you watch like one of the guys that caught on to it fast was Philip DeFranco. Like if you watch his news channel, it's just, there's no space in between his talking. Like if his show was like a live stream, for instance, it would be like an hour, 2 hours long. But he has to put all that into as fast as possible, so it's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
They're
Like who's the
constantly-
name of that guy that did the story time, and he did a lot of those vines, and I was like, it's mesmerizing because you kind of want to see them one after the other. It's like, keep going, give me more. Him and
like
Bat Dad.
Oh yeah.
Well, Bad Dad's
He's
pretty
a
funny.
big.
Bad
He's
Dad's pretty
funny.
Oh man, I remember when that. Like, and see, when they shut down Vine, all these guys jumped on, these guys and girls that were on Vine jumped onto YouTube, and it's what they call the Viner invasion. And it's why they, like these Jake Pauls, Logan Pauls, King Batch, they jumped onto YouTube, and they're making like tons and tons of money off of YouTube, because they figured out that people don't like to sit and watch something and sit there. Like, it's just boom, 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 like action, 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 something to keep the eyes moving, to keep everything. And that's just like, and it's a lot, it's just the way that it's edited, like that's what it comes down to. Like, we can put all our heart and soul into for instance, like one of our like it's like we're constantly, like me, Joseph and Javier, are constantly butting heads. Is like the skits, like me, I want to build a skit that's just fast, to the point, and everything, and them, they want to add the storyline with it, and that's where we butt heads a lot. But at the end of the day, it's what you love to do, like the way that you envision it is the way you're going to put it out, and it's the viewer's choice of whether they want to watch it.
If they're
going
to
to
pick that and watch it, yeah.
Yeah, because this is the fight that he and I have had like a million times. I'm like, either we want to be rich and we can act like idiots for 5 minutes, like over and over and over and over again, and we finally get rich. Or you can do this show that you like to do and have guests on and talk about what's happening in San Antonio and not get rich. So I'm like, you got to choose what you want. And then for me, it's hard for me to do like all the idiot stuff. Like, I mean, I do it in private, so nobody has to see. But because I'm an educator, like, I don't want myself out there, because I'm always preaching to my kids, like, stop doing idiot stuff. Like, don't put salt and ice on your skin, and you're giving yourself frostbite and killing your cells.
Don't
be stupid, you know? And they're like, but I saw it on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, please stop. So there's part of me, but then there's part of me that loves YouTube because I can send them there and show them, like, what a Rube Goldberg machine is and how it works and how they can make one. So then on that side, I'm like, yay, I love YouTube. And then on the other side, I'm like, oh my God.
Well, but there, a lot of people watch that because I'm looking at it just like from a programmer, because I'm a web developer by trade. And I look at that, well, how do you configure such and such for SSL? And you can look it up on YouTube, and it shows you step by step how to do it. And that's a great big thing, and they get a lot of views on just doing that kind of tutorial kind of stuff on there.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect that you can take on there that can make money as well. Because then you'll get sponsors from the people. Oh, okay, Microsoft. Oh, you're using mine.
Yeah.
My server to do this? Oh yeah, I'll give you money.
So do you
You're
think
using my camera to do this? Oh, I'll give you money. I'll give you equipment.
So do you think y'all are gonna like continue to kind of watch the trends and change what you do, or do you kind of do you guys already like doing the reaction stuff and you want to keep doing that?
I'll be honest, I hate reaction videos. I'll be 100% honest. I hate them. But
people passed out over there, y'all didn't see it.
But I'll be honest, like, I hate reaction videos. But we can knock out like 3 or 4 videos a night, and we'll have videos for the whole entire week ready to go. I see why these guys are doing them. Of course, there's like the Fine Bros, for instance, like what they commented and said is that theirs is more produced. There's more into, like, more put into the production value of it, and is why where they're as big as they are. But that's why you have so many people are coming across that, like, oh, I can knock out 4 or 5 of these a day, have videos uploaded and ready to go. We can stay on top of the trends, but at the end of the day, it's not just my call. We have 4 of us on my team right now, and it's what we all want to do. We're doing it because it's the trend that's there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's what we want to do. Like, it's like the reason why, like, I had asked Vince to come on. I asked Vince just to watch behind the scenes, and he asked me to be on the show, but because the Javi and Joseph that are here with me right now want to do like a show, like, not necessarily a live stream, but just a show in general of like where you have your host, an interviewer, like, and so we wanted just to see the behind the scenes stuff, and that's what they're doing right now, is they're just looking at the behind the scenes, what the producer's up to, everything like that. And we're gonna, like, overall, like, my goals are big.
Oh, that's good.
And I gotta get back, like, I need to come to reality on what we're capable of doing, but still keep my long-term goals in mind. But if that means we have to do these, like you said, if you have to do something dumb in front of the camera and it's getting the views, at the end of the day, it's getting the views. Like,
So I've done like 1 reaction video.
So, and I did it because I thought it was pretty funny. Like, I taped him doing it because he watched this stupid man who got these really hot peppers. They're called Carolina Reapers.
Reapers.
And then
He
vapes
vapes it?
them. And he snorts them, and then there's some left, and so he takes it and puts it in the corner of his eye. Look at him, he's laughing now, and he's not even watching it. It's not funny, and this guy throws up. He throws up. It's so bad. Vince loves it. I can just say Carolina Reaper, and he's laughing. So I was like, people have to see him because he laughs like an idiot. Like, Reaper, he threw up. He's like so excited. So I had to do that. That was the one reaction one.
The volume's kind of low. Hopefully. Okay.
I wish we had done some reaction because we're big Star Wars fans. So I wish we had known when the trailer came out that Han was going to be on it when they did this newest one, because we were kind of like losing our stuff. And there was a couple of times like he was like, "Oh man, I wish I could have gotten you in the theater when we watched the last," because I cried like a stupid baby, like, "Oh, Luke Skywalker," and he was like, "Oh man, too bad we could have got that because people would have liked that. You're like a big crybaby." I'm like, "Thanks." So I mean, there are some really good times, but a lot of the times.
Which reminds me, when are we going to see
reaction-
Sci-Fi Tonians too?
I don't know, Alejandro. He's still working on it.
Alejandro, work on it. Because we actually took a reaction video when the first, when episode 7 came out, and we got a reaction video with that, and he was supposed to do. He did a documentary called Sci-Fi Tonians, and it's about Star Wars culture in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And this one's going to be Star Wars culture in Texas.
Because there's some pretty big things that went on with Texas, but I always feel bad because I think the best reaction videos really happen in those moments where you probably didn't have a camera unless you had a camera with you like 24/7, or like so we were, because y'all are younger, and because I'm an educator, so we were talking about all the naughty potty words that we had to tell you that you couldn't say. And so I try not to say them, but we were having a lot of fun last night, like thinking of all the really horrible ones. And so there was a list of really, really bad ones. And I was saying some of them, and he was like, "This would be an awesome video, like for people to see, like Little Miss Neat and Clean, like going off on some of these words." And I was like, "That's not okay."
But like doing it, I was like, we shouldn't be saying this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
And then he would throw one in like, "Oh, son of a biscuit eater," and I was like, "No." Oh, yes, you can say that one. He was like, "We should do that video."
The Ranking Needed asks, do y'all stream on Twitch more than YouTube? I don't do Twitch anymore.
So we used to do Twitch. This was a thing. And I was actually liking Twitch. We were getting actually some momentum on Twitch. And then
the Twitch incident.
We had a Twitch incident with some people were saying some things that were not appropriate, and so because I'm an educator and I'd like to keep my job, we had to stop doing that because he had it set up so it was over the overlay so you could see all the chat coming up. Yeah. Yeah, so no.
That's why you can't see the chat on our
That's why we can't see the chat anymore. So we haven't gone back to Twitch, and then we did some Twitch for video games, but
Black and Silver Diamond says I can say them for you.
No, Black and Silver Diamond don't. So I'm kind of violent when I lose video games, and
you are.
It's kind of a problem. So we stopped Twitch for a little while because Vince had too many bruises, and maybe we're gonna try again. I'm gonna try to be nice. Do y'all play video games or?
We don't mess with Twitch at all.
No.
My thing with Twitch is that it's more for live streamers. Like it is for live streamers, and like they play video games. Like they're very good at video games. Javi and Joseph are both very good at video games, and Christian's good at sports games. They're good at shooters, shooting games and stuff like that. It's not something that we ventured into because it's such an oversaturated market. Like there's so many talented gamers out there, and there's so many good personalities out there.
But I hear that people are actually getting tired of the talented gamers because it makes them feel really bad about themselves, so they want to see some really horrible gamers. So that's why I was on, because it's really bad. But then terrible things happen, so maybe not anymore.
But they weren't happening when we were actually doing our gaming.
Well, people really liked it. So Vince and I are old. We've already established this. And so with the shooters that you guys like, we get sick. We get motion sickness. So we can only play for like a little while. So we were playing, and we're like playing Borderlands, and we're like, oh, we're not too bad at this. And then we're like, I don't feel very good. like they're on the chat, like go up, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel good, and they're like, just longer, do it. And I was like, that's not nice. I don't like that anymore.
We
So I don't
kept
know.
playing for a while, and then finally we were like, no, we can't.
We couldn't, because I really was gonna hurl on camera, and I was like, that's not funny. People don't like that, but people apparently like that. Maybe y'all could do that next.
See, we're I think we're that as far as like the reaction as far as that is that, you know, like I said, people aren't watching TV anymore. So they're doing a lot of like, well, America's Funniest Home Video is one of like the longest running programs on TV, and it's literally like people watching people do dumb things. And so when people realize like, hey, I might not be able to get onto America's Funniest Home Videos, but I can just post my own videos doing dumb things. And then in the same sense, it's like, because where does that come up where someone says like to me, like me, like I'm a very narcissistic person. Like I love watching myself on camera. Like that's just who I am. And where does someone come up with saying like, I want to record myself reacting to someone doing this? Or where does someone like want to sit down? Like this is why I've never understood I understand watching tutorials on games. I've never understood the concept of watching someone else play a game when I could play the game.
Play the game
watching
yourself, yeah.
It's something that's just mind-boggling to me that I still don't understand to this day. Like I can watch gamers play. Like one of my right now my favorite Arsan, one of the guys from our YouTube channel. It's just he's good. He's really good.
He was on. I think I saw him make a comment here or there.
Yeah, Arsan is like I watch him just because he's fun to watch, and I don't really like watching video game gameplays unless like I'm playing a video game. I'm like, oh, how do I do this? And I'll look it up how to do it. But I can't personally sit there and watch somebody play a video game.
Well, maybe y'all should move into like they do on BuzzFeed. Maybe y'all should like eat weird food and like react to that. Like maybe y'all should find some actual squirrel jerky and eat it, or make your own. Like there's some squirrels out in the neighborhood.
Wow.
Y'all can go get one, and then you just make some jerky using a YouTube tutorial. So then you can show yourselves making YouTube tutorial jerky, and then y'all eat it and see if it's tasty.
I just saw y'all's eyebrows go up like that when you said y'all can eat squirrel jerky. Yeah.
And then if it's not super gross, then y'all can sell it.
we have a system. We have a series that like I call it Hobby's Lunchbox, and it's where Hobby does food challenges and stuff. And that may be something in the future that we can get on, is getting like squirrel jerky and Hobby eating it.
What's fun is like one time we had a guest who was like helping run an anime convention, and then we had these little like kind of like wasabi peanuts. So then Vince is like, here, try these weird things that we found at HEB for the guests. So that's what you do, is you bring guests on, and then you have weird food, and you're like, here, look, try this yummy food that I found at HEB.
Like, and that you brought that up, there's a lot of like now like what I've seen a lot of like as far as like live streams and a lot of podcasts is that there's like little niches, like, and Joseph was the one that pointed it out to me that like I don't know if y'all watch Hot Ones, where they have they sit across the table and the interviewer, each question they do is a hotter wing that they do, and I've seen a lot of channels.
Oh, you were telling me about this one, yes.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it though.
I've seen a lot of channels starting to pop up where they're doing like little niches like that. Like for instance, like the Hot Ones, they do like each question they eat another wing, and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and that's something that a lot of channels are doing. But it's just like finding that, like with YouTube in general, is finding that thing that you can do the exact same thing that everyone else is doing, or you can find something that only you're doing and be the pioneers to it. And then when other people start doing it, other people are going to start doing it. But you could always say, like the Fine Bros, they can say they were one of the first people that started doing reaction videos. Like you have guys like Roman Atwood, Fusitube, that they could say like they were one of the first ones that were doing prank channel, like doing pranks on people, and that's what started the next prank invasion, and people like them. Or like what they spawned off of was someone just said, hey, I'm going to play pranks on people and I'm going to post it on YouTube. So it's finding that next big thing that's going to be there.
No, actually, you hit like a sore spot. Don't. He watches these dudes
Alan Funt.
Yes.
He's always watching these dudes pranking their wives and girlfriends, and he's like, ha ha ha, that's real funny. That's not funny. I don't like that.
Well,
Don't give him ideas, Dave.
But the thing is, some of them are like super fake, and you can tell. And
Everybody's fake.
but some of them are really funny.
It's all about the acting. Like it's like with magic. Like the way I like prank videos now is that they're all scripted and everything. It's like you look at magic and you know it's fake, but you're still like, oh man, that's so cool or that's so funny. Like that's the way. Like I don't dog on pranksters anymore. Like I never. Now I look more at like the. Now that I'm a creator, I look more at the production value versus the actual content itself, because it's like all of us, like we hear Jake Paul, Logan Paul's name and we cringe to hear their names, but when you actually sit down and watch like one of their music videos or something, you're like, man, like they put a lot of thought into this and a lot of production value into this. And it's just to me, I look at more of the like what are they doing that could either I can try mimicking. Like that's why we wanted to come on the show. Like we like y'all's show, we watch y'all's show, and to see the behind the scenes of how it works, and to see like how having a producer, like a live producer on set works. And that's just like it's just
yeah, it's really helpful to have Stuart. Like, really love Stuart. He's fabulous. We have done the show before a few times when we didn't have a producer, so it's literally me and the camera's turned this way and I'm back here and we've got more lights on and he's over there. But then I'm looking down at myself on the screen, which gross. And then I'm looking at him, and then I'm trying to change the cameras because it's people probably don't know that it's a manual thing that you've got to do to like change the camera. So sometimes he's in the big screen, sometimes I'm in the big screen, so you're not just getting this static view. And then I'm like, like, why am I doing that? And then like in my head, I'm like, switch back. And then I'm like, that was too slow. And then he's not talking, and it's my turn to talk again. And I'm like, I gotta switch back to me again. It's the worst.
Having that producer on set.
It's the worst. I don't think people know what all goes into it. So
Tough.
Yeah, you're right.
It's tough.
Production quality is important. Like I think people think that these pranks a lot of the times are really natural, and they don't realize like how many takes these people have had to do and. And how much
there's things to do to make it a lot easier. Like we have like the Stream Deck there that makes it a lot easier to do things, right, Stuart?
Yeah.
It's different. It was different from when we didn't have it to when we did have it.
Constantly clicking on crap.
It's great to have too many buttons, Vince. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're real helpful. And then the whole like soundboard thing and everything. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I don't know if people really know. I mean, not that you have to have all that stuff to have YouTube videos. As long as YouTube's not like kicking any of us off, you can really just have your phone.
Because you know what you need to do to have a YouTube channel? Upload
you should
a
watch
video.
last week's show, and you'll find out. You'll be asking us questions about last week's show. It's this week, I'm talking to David about jerky made out of squirrels.
So what are your plans? You said this isn't necessarily what you want to do, the reaction videos. What do you want to do with your channel?
My overall goal is to make a multi-channel network to where I can launch smaller YouTubers. So when, for instance, like you have like Studio 71, Maker Studio, where they not necessarily have their own YouTube channel, but they're multi-channel networks that fund the YouTubers. They set up the channels, get them ready to go and everything, and they push them, they brand them, everything, to where it's just marketing. The marketing that we don't have yet for being as small as we are is to where I can say like, hey, if we're out on the street and we see like someone playing in a coffee shop or something like that, I'm like, hey, I'm from like let's say Squrl Jerky Pictures production studio, YouTube production studio. Are you interested in making a YouTube channel? And then show we don't have the backing yet as far as having I have this much channels under my name, but once we get there and we want to make people help people so they don't have to go through what we're struggling going through as small YouTubers.
Would you have a studio space, do you think, that you would be able to bring them into, and you would help them with the production side and all of that? Yeah.
That's eventually what we want to break onto, is just get our own studio, get something set in stone. And like me myself, like I had set a goal that we were gonna hit the mark before YouTube changed it. I had set a goal that we were gonna hit the monetization mark by the first of what's called 2018. I missed it by 12 days. It was the 12th when we finally hit it. My next goal is just to get us into a studio so we can start pushing a lot of their projects that they want to do, Joseph and Javi. And we still have other projects that we're working on and pushing.
Do y'all
That's
want to do
cool.
like green screen work and stuff, or?
We do a little bit here and there. We're trying to learn it like so we can, because we're just kind of just doing it and doing it. We're not like, it's like we're learning off of YouTube, looking up how do you do this, how do you do that.
Yeah, and that's exactly how we did it.
That's what he did it.
Folder says, I think I might upload my first official YouTube video soon. So yeah, good for you. Well, watch us. Let us know what it is.
Yeah, tell us. and we'll
Definitely,
watch.
because we're actually both on the SA YouTube Create meetup that we meet every Wednesday at Geekdom at 7 p.m. to like 8:30. And can you tell us a little more about that?
That's an awesome thing that we have here in San Antonio. It's grown a lot within these past couple of months. It's under new management and it's going in a really good direction. We're constantly growing and everything. We have like Vince came on, and Vince has a lot of connections that he's helping us out, the group out with, and just the overall intent of what we're trying to do is help smaller YouTubers and people that even if they're seasoned with YouTube and they've been on YouTube for a while, so where they can keep growing their channel, because YouTube's constantly changing. There's not anything set.
This week I found out stuff that I didn't know about because of Carlos, him going over some stuff. I was like, huh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, and it
different
was
things
great.
that
You
could
told me
do.
that you had somebody come out and talk to people about branding and stuff.
Yeah, I brought Austin Rogers in to talk about branding, so that was pretty cool too there.
Yeah, I think that's really great that y'all are doing that, because I don't think people realize all the different aspects and facets that go into really wanting to monetize for YouTube and make this actually your career. So I think that that's a really good thing, so that you can let people know, is this something that you want to make your career? These are kind of some of the steps. Or if you just want to do it as a hobby, that's okay too. And these are some of the steps you can do to make it a hobby.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think y'all are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
I just don't come because that's when I hang out with my girls.
She's like, but I don't think she likes the behind the scenes stuff of how it all works. She just wants to be on and talk.
I don't like people, so that's a thing.
And
I'm
she's
just-
a teacher.
I'm just kidding. I just don't like Vince's people. No. I'm playing.
You got them over there sitting behind.
They're like, we'll leave
So,
So
now.
there's a ton of stuff we haven't planned for the YouTube group here in San Antonio, and it's like he said, it's growing. It's growing. A lot of people. We're even at Geekdom Day, and just people at Geekdom came over and say, "Hey, what are y'all
What you
doing?"
up to? Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I was like, "Yeah, we have a YouTube school." Sure, yeah, we have that.
YouTube school.
YouTube school, yay!
But
Adam says I learned new stuff at the meetup. Good stuff.
Oh, good, Adam.
So yes, thank you for going, and it was a lot of fun. Hope to see you again.
And I think it's good too that y'all are making this network so that then y'all can do videos with each other too, and kind of help each other out and show each other the different aspects of the type of videos that y'all are doing as well, so that if you wanted to branch out in those, you could. Yeah.
And we're both Superman fans, I guess.
Yes.
I saw that was a thing.
Cowboy
was
hats
already-
and Superman shirts.
He was here for what, 30 minutes? He didn't see my Superman shrine.
I love it.
Oh,
Like it's like
yeah, it's a
I got
thing.
Superman jacket, Superman shirt, everything Superman.
Oh yeah, him too.
See, and you weren't wearing your Superman stuff
Also,
either
that
when you
day,
didn't
I
have your
just got
hat
out of
either.
work, yeah, I had just got out of work
No
and I met
hat,
Vince
no
for like
Superman.
the third time.
He's like, I don't know who this dude is.
I was giving him my
Give you
card.
a card and everything.
I already have your card. I was like, no, you don't. I've never met you before in my life.
I had already had met Vince a couple of times before that.
He's got old person brain. It's okay.
But it's because I'm trying to brand the as far as myself is the cowboy hats and the Superman gear. That's just me, myself, my own personal.
That's a good idea. What we try to do, and I don't even know, I think people have noticed, is usually whatever we're talking about that week, we try to wear something that goes along with like whatever
then
we're
we
talking
decorate
about, and then we
for it,
decorate
too.
his desk for based on what it is usually that we're talking about. So we have the different stuff that we put out and try to wear things. I just got a Pinky in the Brain shirt.
Yay! And I still have two those boxes. What are those boxes
Loot
called?
crates.
Loot crates.
I
To
canceled.
open up that
No, wait,
haven't
I
even
canceled.
opened.
I did it, Stuart. I canceled.
It.
I did it. I canceled. I
It's
canceled.
finally canceled.
But I had
There
already.
is no way in the world you canceled it. I want to see the cancel thing. 'cause
I did.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
I will show
did.
you. I showed him because he didn't believe me either. I canceled it, but because I paid it through,
I still
like you
haven't
paid a year
had.
long.
I haven't opened up this one, and I still have one on the table
Look, it's
that
like
I
all
just got
crushed. He doesn't
recently.
even care. He hates
They
them.
suck.
They suck. So March, it'll be done in March.
Yes. So, David, thanks a lot for coming.
thank
I'm
y'all.
really happy to see where your channel's going and what you're doing with your channel. So, Squrl Jerky Pictures, do you can you find you just on YouTube
Yeah, the
or?
Squrl Jerky Pictures.
Spell it
there's-
wrong though.
Yeah, it's SQURL, Squrl Jerky Pictures, and then we also have the vlog channel, the behind the scenes stuff of what we're up to, Squrl Jerky Vlogs also.
So, thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen. That's Stuart. That's David.
Geek out, SA. Okay, see you later.